Hi, my name is Rainer Weisheidinger from Boco Vienna, and I would like to show you the Austrian case study on mitigation of climate change by humus formation and regenerative arable farming in eastern Austria. The farming systems in the case study are mostly arable farms, either by focusing on animal husbandry or fruit production. Animal husbandry is mostly pig production. The dilemma is how to tackle climate change impacts, increase carbon sequestration in soils, prevent other soil degradation processes, and reduce soil fertility loss from arable land, whilst maintaining or improving the farm's social and economic sustainability and contributing to climate change mitigation. So the main sustainability issues are on climate, climate change, soil and soil fertility, water, and economy. In the area, the stage of transition examined is mixed. There are farms that are following a carbon sequestration approach, and there are others that are in an advanced ongoing transition by following either an organic approach and or high diverse production methods. The key actors involved in the multi-actor platform are the eco-region Kindorf, the working group on agriculture, farmers, the agricultural chamber, researchers, farmers association, marketing organization, and mayors of communities in the region. The agro-ecological practices identified are site-specific and year-round greening, so that the soil is permanently covered by vegetation, reduced or no-till tillage with mulch or direct sowing methods, then the use of compost, which is mostly based on urban organic waste and is composted by several farmers in the region, and also charcoal is used. A further important point of the region is knowledge transfer, and this is both for conventional and organic farms. And also they try to reduce other farm inputs such as pesticides and mineral fertilizers. The ecoregion Kindorf is situated in Styria. It's a federal state in eastern Austria. We see here a lot of farms in the region, but meanwhile the approach is also done in other areas in Austria, like in Upper Austria, Lower Austria, Burgenland, Carinthia, and Styria. It has started in 2007 with 3 farmers and in total 3 hectares, and in 2021 350 farmers in Austria are sequestrating CO2 in average 6 tons per hectare and year, and on meanwhile 4,500 hectares roughly. And the ecoregion Kindorf is paying a compensation for each ton CO2 sequestration of 30 euros. So what was the findings of our sustainability assessments? First, of the smart farm tool, you see on the left the results in the 4 dimension, social well-being, the red economic resilience, green environmental integrity, and blue good governance. I just picked several interesting points. The value here in the graph is the mean value across all farms. In terms of soil quality, the results do not differ as expected between the soil group and the conventional baseline farmers. This is partly because of long-term indicators of SMART. The water quality, there is a clear trend to better performance by the agro-ecological farming systems. This is also true for biodiversity. In the social well-being dimension, all farms are on a relatively good level, and less intensive farms, mixed farms, perform slightly better. In the smart economic resilience dimension, less intensive farms perform better than others. Having two other tools used in UNISECO, the Cool Farm tool, and this is measuring greenhouse gas emissions. And the agroecological farms are slightly lower, have lower emissions than the baseline farmers, but there is not a clear trend. And all farms show positive soil carbon stock changing. What was a surprise, and we have seen that in the region of the ecoregion that other farmers, baseline farmers, are already adapting measures of the soil group farmers. Very briefly to the farm economics, the compass results, net value added, net farm income and labor productivity, intensive conventional big farms without any agroecological practices performed better than all other farms. When related to hectare, smaller farms in fruit production and or direct marketing activities are more successful. We detected different barriers of agroecological implementation. First, there is a single field plot approach rather than a whole farm concept of the ecoregion But what is rather interesting for farmers, because they can start with 1 hectare or 2 hectare to raise the soil fertility instead of doing on the whole farm at once. There is a certain risk of compost derived from urban organic waste. Economic pressure keeps innovations generally low, and we see that CAP Pillar 1 is seen by the MAP members as a hindrance to an agroecological transition. ÖPOL, the CAP Pillar 2, the agro-environmental program of Austria, is seen positively but requires more target-oriented promotion of soil fertility aspects. And as we see, is lacking in long-term climate change adaptation aspects. So agroforestry would be one issue to be raised in the ÖPOL program. Other barriers are lack of agroecological knowledge in official advisory services, low awareness building for agroecological farming systems in agricultural colleges. So training there is a clear barrier. Lack of practice relevant transdisciplinary research. And this one block, and there are two more barriers, that there is a general scientific concern about such CO2 certificates, and for agroecological products there is a clear lack of alternative market access, with the exception of organic products. So we analyzed 10 key instruments to address, just go very briefly into that. All these on-field measures, including practice research, so greening, compost, I think this is a very good approach, as the results shown. They have to be strengthened and better multiplied in Austria or beyond. Then to further improve science-based approach of the certificates, adaptation and redesign of agricultural policy, especially Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, and to develop alternative markets apart from organic, or to switch to organic, and what is very essential, to improve advisory service and trainings, especially for young farmers. So the key lessons learned on the ecology part is that there is a partly better performance of agroecological farming systems compared with the baseline farmers. In social and economic aspects, the differences are higher between different farm types than between farms of different status on the agroecological transition pathway. This is especially true for economic and social aspects evaluated. And a key lesson, consideration of long-term and systematic challenges of agroecological measures and farming systems from a socio-cultural and socio-economic perspectives are really, really important. Either these are advice, training and education, or practice research. So this was about the case study in Austria. Thank you very much for listening. Here is my email. If there are any questions, don't hesitate to contact me by email. Thank you again. Bye bye. Have a good conference.